Kimberly Kardashian and Kris Jenner. It says, notice, all caps, exclamation point. You have been sued. The court may decide against you.
I defamed you? How? They need to speak on this. What is this? What is this? What are you doing? What is this?
This federal RICO though on KK and Kris?
Ooh. There is no RICO, they're saying. Miss Kardashian and Miss Jenner have built their reputations on integrity. Now this is where they start bragging about their businesses. And then I got to give a shout out to Skims, because I was like, oh yeah, I see why Kim has earned all this money with Skims. It is a great design. I know people could go either way. Some people hate the Kardashians, some love them. You know, they go all the way back to Kim. They go all the way back to Kris and, you know, her mom and whatever her mom taught her about, you know, getting a husband and however Kris has treated her husbands and whatever she's done to rise to this point. Skims, loving Skims, give me a sponsorship, Kim. Commonly known as Ray J, is a former R&B singer and songwriter. His musical career peaked. They're totally just like dissing him and harassed Miss Kardashian long after their relationship ended. So this is when they talk about Sexy Red. For example, in June 2025, Ray J falsely claimed during a Twitch live stream that he had an intimate years of antagonistic behavior, including his 2013 release of a song titled I Hit It First. Why are you making this song? I don't know, it just makes him kind of look like an F-boy, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, he knows that his tenuous connection from decades ago is the only thing that keeps him relevant. Alrighty, here we go. Praise the Lord, I finally got the lawsuit paperwork. Kris Jenner and Kim Kardashian, apparently they're suing Ray J, better known as, well, he's better known as Ray J, but his real name is William Ray Norwood Jr. So he is singer Brandy's little brother. You guys might remember Ray J. Some of you might remember an infamous movie that Kim Kardashian and Ray J made off somewhere. Where did they go? Somewhere in California for a weekend. Anyway, I've been searching for this frickin' lawsuit paperwork, defamation, slander, libel, unlimited. It was filed October 1st. Is today October 3rd, I do believe. I've been looking for it for 3 days. Thank God a Patreon member encouraged me to look for it. So now, like 3 days, $50 later, paying the Los Angeles court system, I mean, you have to pay nearly $5 a pop just to search for names. I've been searching for names. It's finally in the system. I mean, yesterday I was calling LA. They were telling me, you have to come to the courthouse to get it, or you have to send a runner. Like, send a runner. I'm adjusting my lights here. Send a runner to go get it. I'm like, oh my goodness, just give me this paperwork. Finally got it all. It is case number 25STCV 28717, filed on October 1st. Defamation, slander, libel, unlimited, Stanley Mosque Courthouse. My goodness, we're going to go through all of it. So I downloaded all these documents. There's at least 8 out there, and I will continue to, you know, keep up. I'm going to upload these to Patreon because the one person especially who's been messaging me, we've been messaging back and forth like, oh my goodness, girl, find this paperwork. So thank God I did. So far, the main one is the 13-page complaint. That's the one we're going to dig into. That's the one that'll probably have all the juicy stuff. But real quickly, I'll go through. There's a notice of case management conference, order to show cause, failure to file proof of service, clerk's certificate of service, then that big complaint. There's a summons complaint, civil case cover sheet, notice of case assignment, unlimited civil case, alternative dispute resolution packet. So we're going to go through all these I just paid for briefly. So the civil case cover sheet, what's this about? Oh, it's still 7 pages. So again, if you guys want to read all the nitty gritty, download the documents below. But it's just showing a cover sheet, the case number, defamation. This is the first time, I believe, I just read in another news outlet. Allegedly, this might be the first time ever that the Kardashians have sued anyone for defamation. That's why it's such a biggie. We'll see who's right here. We'll see who's wrong. But this is the first time, because I think what they're saying is the Kardashians are saying, oh, you know, we're public figures, people talk about us so much. You hear about, I mean, I love the Kardashians. I've been watching them since, when was it, their first season? And I saw like Kendall and Kylie, they were little girls and they were on this like party bus and they were dancing inappropriately. And I was like, who is this family? Who is this woman? Why is she letting her little girls act this way? And despite all the controversy, I still fell in love with just watching them. And you know, you feel like you've grown up with them almost over the years, even though, of course, I'm much older than them, younger than Kris. But, oh, and Kris looks great lately with her, they call it a deep plane facelift. I think it is. I mean, she's looking young. I'm like, how did they do that? Oh my goodness. I digress. So I think this is the first time this family, as much as people talk about them, people, you know, have their opinions about the Kardashians, whether they curse the men who they are with or whatever's going on. This is the first time, I believe, the Kardashians have said, okay, enough. And it's hard to win a defamation case generally against a public figure. However, remember YouTuber Tasha K? The things she said about Cardi B, and Cardi B definitely won her lawsuit against her defamation. So never say never. So this is a defamation lawsuit, and I haven't even read this paperwork yet. I got to get to the doctor, so I was like, let me read it with you guys. This case is not a class action suit. It's not complex under this Rule 3.400 of the California Rules of Court. So I don't know quite what that means. Lawyers would. It's an unlimited civil case. The cover sheet says the amount demanded exceeds $35,000. So they're like, enough, Ray J, enough of all this talking. Remedies sought. They're seeking monetary remedies, punitive damages. Okay, this case is not a class action, so it's signed by Michael Lafrac. Who is he? Signature of party. Or attorney for party. So he's another attorney, I'm sure. Kris has probably got so many attorneys on retainer. Just me searching for this one case, I saw so many cases for Ray J and so many cases for Kimberly Noel Kardashian over the years. And then you see Khloe and Kris Jenner. I know it is par for the course. When you are famous, you will end up with a lot of cases, but how will this one shake down? Defamation, slander, the number 2, applicable reasons, the number 2 is listed. So what does that mean? Anything that I don't know right now, I'll flash explanations on the screen, but I wanted to get this out since I've been looking for it for 3 days. So nothing else really is checked. Reason number 2, the statement of reason and address. So basically it's checking what's appropriate. Reason number 2, the city is Playa Vista. I think that's how you say it in California.
Playa Vista.
I don't know what this reason 2 is though. Short title, Kimberly Kardashian and Kris Jenner versus William Ray Norwood Jr. So that's what we've been through, the 7-page civil case cover sheet. And then there's a real quick 2-pager here, notice of case assignment. The assigned judge is Holly Fuji, Department 56. And there's the courthouse. I mean, this will be a madhouse when they show up. Are they going to settle? I mean, they're trying to obviously hit Ray J where it hurts. I don't know if Ray J has a ton of money. I don't know. I haven't really followed him or his career. I know he was or is married to Princess.
W's in the chat for Princess. W's in the chat. Wow, W's in the chat for Princess.
And then he did some reality shows and he has certain business ventures, but I'm not sure how this is going to impact him. Okay, just notice of case assignment. That's a pretty quick 2-pager. Basically, I want to get to the 13-pager. That's the one that's going to be juicy. Kimberly Kardashian et al. They list her as the plaintiff, William Ray Norwood Jr. Case management, it just has, you know, the attorney's email, e-service, blah, blah, blah. Before we get to that complaint, let's just read real quickly the notice of case management conference. Okay, Ray J, the defendant, Basically, he'll have to be at this conference. You're ordered to serve this notice of hearing on all parties, attorneys of record, forthwith, meet and confer with all parties, attorneys of records about the matter to be discussed, no later than 30 days before the case management conference. So their case management conference has been scheduled at the courthouse at the address above. So it will be March 5th, 2026, 8:30 a.m. So that's a long time away. I mean, it's already, well, it's October. It seems like a long time away. It's about 6 months or less away, but I don't know, March 5th, 2026. It'll be here before we know it, but it seems like such a long time away. By depositing in the United States mail at the courthouse in Los Angeles. So these are just scheduling things. I want to get all this out of the way before we get to the juicy complaint. We've got the order to show cause hearing. Okay, so all these parties, Ray J, Kim, and everyone are ordered to appear at this order to show cause hearing, March 5th, 2026, 8:30 a.m. It says, show cause why sanctions should not be imposed. Failure to comply or appear may result in sanctions to one or more of the following, those rules. To avoid mandatory appearance, all required documents must be filed at least 5 days prior to the date of the hearing. So we know that Ray J has said, I won't be silenced, but I hope he has a great attorney on retainer, because the Kardashians, I'm sure these lawyers are probably hitting. I mean, they're probably really good. So this was just filed yesterday, the order to show cause hearing. So that shows a filing date of October 2nd. No wonder some of this stuff I could not find. Okay, summons. This is only one page. It's a notice to Ray J. You are being sued by plaintiff Kimberly Kardashian and Kris Jenner. It says notice, all caps, exclamation point. You have been sued. The court may decide against you without your being heard unless you respond within 30 days. So read the info. Look, you've got 30 days. They've written it in Spanish. They want this dude to know. Look, you've been served. Then we have a quick 3-pager and alternative dispute resolution. So will Ray J kind of go this route? The plaintiff must serve this ADR information package, I guess, just to let all parties know all of their options. The alternative dispute resolution helps people find resolutions to their legal disputes without going to trial. So maybe that's what Ray J will opt for. They can negotiate, they can have mediation, arbitration, settlement, save time and money, reduce stress, and protect privacy. Because imagine if Ray J and Kim Kardashian and Kris Jenner are tromping over to the courthouse for this long defamation trial. Everybody and their mother, all paparazzi, are going to be all over it. So we'll see what they decide. Maybe it's just a means of the Kardashians trying to tell Ray J, just quiet down. Ray J has just been saying things about the Kardashians. We'll get to them, I'm sure, in this complaint. They're going down for RICO, all this stuff. The gist of it, from what I've watched over the years, is that Ray J and Kim Kardashian had some kind of just boyfriend-girlfriend relationship many years ago. Paris Hilton, she got out there. She was famous with her One Night in Paris movie, if you know what I mean, which may have been leaked by someone else or whatever. It made her more famous. The accusations I've heard Ray J make over the years, watching him through interviews and everything, is that it was all controlled. Kris Jenner was a Svengali. It was designed by Kim to become as famous. By then, that Keeping Up with the Kardashians, the first season was starting, and Kim saw how Paris Hilton became famous with her tape, leaked tape. So Ray J has accused Kris Jenner of being the mastermind behind it all, Kim's fame, leaking her tape to Vivid or whatever, whoever got it. I mean, I never watched the whole thing. I've seen snippets, but I think not the real dirty stuff. But I know it came about back when MySpace was a thing. And I think Ray J had commented, babe, let's show the world our S tape. And then he deleted that comment. But by then, everyone, of course, glommed onto it and started watching it. Kim, according to Keeping Up with the Kardashians, it was one of those cry face moments. She was really upset over it, allegedly. But the accusations have been that, no, Kris Jenner actually watched the tape. And that's what Ray J has said lately. Can you believe a mom watched her daughter's own tape and stuff like that. And she's this Svengali and they're going down. And I think the accusations have gotten worse and worse, what Ray J has been saying. And so it's at the point now where Kim's take is going to be, look, you're obsessed with me. Why are you so obsessed with me? Singing Mariah Carey here. Why are you so obsessed with me? Anyway, they had a relationship years and years ago, before Kim had any marriages, before she had any children. You know, it was like, why are you still, her viewpoint sounds like it's like this ex-boyfriend who just can't leave her alone. So we'll see. So this 13-pager complaint for defamation and false light publicity, demand for a jury trial. Kimberly Kardashian and Kris Jenner are the plaintiffs. William Ray Norwood Jr. is the defendant. Page 1. So the complaint is plaintiffs Kimberly Kardashian, better known as Kim K, I'll call her, they don't say that in here, and Kris Jenner, by and through their attorneys, bring this complaint against defendant William Ray Norwood Jr., Ray J, or defendant, for defamation and false light publicity. Nature of the action. Okay, for more than 2 decades, defendant William Ray Norwood Jr., also known as Ray J, has engaged in a sustained campaign of harassment and defamation against plaintiffs Kimberly Kardashian and Kris Jenner. Unable to accept the end of his fleeting relationship with Ms. Kardashian over 20 years ago, I always want to change that to more than 20 years ago, Ray J has repeatedly sought to attach himself to plaintiffs' names and exploit their prominence for personal gain. Part of this I can't agree with. Remember that song Ray J had put out called I Hit It First? It's kind of like, dude, I don't know. It is like, move on. You know what I mean? This action arises from Ray J's latest and most malicious defamatory conduct, declaring to millions of social media viewers that plaintiffs are subjects of a federal criminal racketeering investigation. I know, right? Like, if Ray J's like, oh, they're under a RICO act, they're gonna go down. If that were true, how would Ray J know that until the paperwork is actually filed? I mean, we hear things like TMZ, of course, knew about this lawsuit before technically it arose in the docket. And I'm sure Kris probably told TMZ, she probably texted them, we're about to file this lawsuit. But how would Ray J know this stuff he's claiming? Ray J's defamatory campaign began on May 30th, 2025, when he appeared on the Fox Tubi special. I still have to watch this. TMZ presents United States versus Sean Combs, and stated that racketeering charges against the Kardashians would be appropriate. And, quote, if you told me that the Kardashians were being charged for racketeering, I might believe it, priming his audience for more sensational falsehoods to come. On September 24th, 2025, Ray J escalated his attacks during a social media live stream broadcast to millions. On which channel? Where?
This federal RICO though on KK and Kris. Ooh, the federal RICO I'm about to drop on Kris and Kim is about to be crazy. I'm talking about, I'm on the news every day like, yeah. Meaning like I'm gonna say a lot of shit, but
got a little bounce, you know, you walk with
if anybody know Kim and cool with Kim, they need to tell her now. The rain is coming. The feds is coming. Hey, right. The feds is coming. It's nothing I can do about it. It's worse than Diddy. It's worse than Diddy. It's worse than Diddy. The feds are coming to investigate. Yeah, because it's like, I can't be the dirty guy no more.
Declaring the federal RICO I'm about to drop on Kris and Kim is about to be crazy, and that, quote, the feds is coming. That sounds stupid. How could Ray J drop a RICO on Kris and Kim? Ray J then announced to the millions of viewers that the racketeering case against plaintiffs would be worse than Diddy. Yeah, that's not good. Referring to the highly publicized federal RICO charges against Sean Diddy Combs. Sean should be receiving his sentence pretty soon today as I'm recording. for heinous allegations of trafficking and violent abuse of women. So yeah, it's not good, they're saying, for Ray J to compare the Kardashians to what Sean Puffy Combs was alleged to have done. Ray J provided no evidence whatsoever for these explosive accusations. So they have notes. TMZ, Ray J defends Diddy. They have TMZ links, of course, right here. And TMZ, Ray J claims he's working on a RICO. I don't understand that. How could Ray J himself work on a RICO? Whew. Okay, I'm back. I just ran to the doctor and I came back, so that's why things might look a little different. But in the meantime, I was able to read the entire lawsuit, which I will finish, this whole 13 pages, and apparently Ray J is reacting to it, perhaps on Twitter. It's confusing. I mean, okay, I might take a little break in reading this to talk about Ray J's response. And then we'll get back to reading it because I want to get to the truth. You'll see Ray J is claiming, I'll just let you listen. Okay, I'm about to show Ray J what he put on the screen. A 13-page settlement agreement allegedly claiming Kim Kardashian had agreed to pay him all these millions of dollars. Initially, I thought he was reading her lawsuit against him. But no, it's a different document. Is it legit?
I defamed you? How? How I defame you? You just paid me all this money. You didn't mention that, huh? Go back up. You didn't mention that. But you also didn't mention that you were supposed to tell Hulu to take that shit down, bro.
So he's claiming, he's reading, I guess, through the paperwork. It says some kind of agreement. And he's just like, I defamed you? How? How did I defame you? He's going to get into some more serious charges. I don't know if he was on Twitch or wherever he was saying this. He's disagreeing. He's going to claim they paid him $5 million worth of hush money. Any of this stuff that is true, especially if it's more recent, if it's true, Ray J should be able to prove it. He's going to talk about he doesn't have a lawyer. If they've paid him $5 million, how recently did Chris and Kim allegedly pay him this $5 million?
These bitches already paid me $5 million, bro. And they trying to, like, make me a slave, bro. Like, I can show you all the dirty shit they telling me. This ain't even no money. This ain't even no money, bro.
It gets confusing when people start speaking like this. I'm a person, I like to deal in facts. And he's like, okay, they paid me, you know, these witches, I'll say, paid me $5 million. And he wanted, Kim should have told Hulu to take something down. I don't know which documentary one he was featured in. Is that what he's talking about? I don't know. It's confusing. And then he starts saying, this ain't even no money.
Like, this ain't cool. Y'all trying to play with me. Y'all think that I'm on here acting like an ass, like I'm just obsessed. I'm obsessed with you. You obsessed with me. I got all the proof. This is you telling me, please don't tell nobody.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get to this part. It's like, whoa, what I'll make the title of this video. Kim Kardashian is basically saying Ray J's, quote, utterly forgotten as a figure without the Kardashians. So he's reacting to that.
You going to jail. This is bribery.
Well, I don't know about all that. You know, maybe Ray J should consult with a lawyer. He's claiming this defamation lawsuit the Kardashians have launched against him, their first ever, I guess, defamation lawsuit filed against anyone. He's claiming, oh, this is bribery. So Ray J's line of thinking is the Kardashians, you know, are suing me, I guess, for money because it's like bribery to keep my mouth shut. Is that what it is? Or is it because he doesn't have the proof he claims he has had? Now, some of these allegations he makes against Kris Jenner, okay, are they true or not? He should file a countersuit. He should have legal counsel.
And you keep pressing me every year. And I don't want to take this shit no more, bro. I don't want to take y'all fucking money. Like, this is bad. This is not cool. Money is not everything, y'all. Remember that. Money doesn't make you. This is not okay.
It doesn't seem like he knows how this is working. So he claims the Kardashians, I guess Kim and Kris paid him $5 million, hush money or whatever. Then he's like, this is no money and I don't want to take your money. It's hush money. It's not cool. Well, at this point, they're not trying to give him money. Kim and Kris are trying to get money out of him because They're saying, look, you've defamed us. They're going to go through all their accomplishments. Don't worry. We will read through all of it. I just wanted to give you the snippet of what Ray J's saying.
They need to speak on this. What is this? What is this? What are you doing? What is this? The arbitration shit's out the door, bro. What are you doing? This is hush money from a lie that you created. You went online and said that you didn't do you like, Chris, you told me what to do. You made me shoot another dirty sex tape with your daughter, and you made me do dirty things, yo.
Now that's a huge allegation. That's a huge allegation, which might be harder to prove since it happened so many years ago. So was there more than one video made? I don't know. I didn't watch all that stuff. Did the first movie, I call it, Kim and Ray J made, went so viral, went popular, maybe made a lot of money? Did they make another one? Did Kris Jenner encourage Ray J and Kim to do it? Was she almost like directing? Like, what is he saying? At this point, he has to speak plainly. And I know it seems like it's really fear. It's fear. He's reacting in fear. Maybe he knows, uh-oh, I went too far this time. And they'll talk about others that they allege he's lied against. So.
And you made me feel every day like it ain't okay. Like this is not okay. Now, I get by it and I'm having fun and I'm doing my thing. I'm back. Like, yo, Ray's a good, and then you want to hit me and send cease and desist letters to everybody to make them not be, like, even hang around me? Like, that shit fucked up. So fuck it. I'm gonna stop there.
So he's saying, okay, I got through the time with you, Kim and Chris, and all that movie madness and whatever happened there, whatever he's alleging Kris Jenner made him do. Now, I don't take that lightly. These are serious allegations. I don't know how old they were. They were in their 20s, obviously. The photos I found, you'll see. It's only a few, out there in the entertainment official sites. And I found photos of them at some The Godfather, The Game launch party way back on March 15th, 2006. This is almost 20 years ago. So that's Kim's argument, that this dude is like still sweating me, stalking me, bothering me from 20 years ago just to try and hold on to fame.
Stop here. I need y'all to tell America really what it is, y'all. America deserves to know. Y'all trying to kill the black community. Y'all trying to kill y'all. I swear to God, I can go deeper than this. But I'm not today. I'm not.
Now, this part gets touchy, the racial element. People are always like, oh, the Kardashians are cursing all these men. And, some of them date black men, especially Kim more so. She's been through her marriages and everything. And also, not Courtney, but Chloe. So, and maybe Kendall. I'm trying to remember who she dated. And, Kylie, of course, too. Okay, so is he playing into that narrative of what the Kardashians have done to all these men, which is like this thing that's out there? If he has actual proof of something they've done to literally hurt him, he should bring that out.
Like, what's fucked up is that this shit bothers me every day when I see my daughter and I see my son, and I'm like, yo, I have 1 year left to make sure that they know who their dad really is.
I don't know what he means by that.
And so I go through this, I crash out, and then after that, I shake it off, and then we get back into a good rhythm. And that's what we about to do right now. Like, I ain't gonna let this shit, like, just totally turn us into something else. So let's just get back and let's have fun. But y'all see what y'all see. Y'all know what I'm going through. I don't have no lawyers. I don't have no motherfucking,
Part of me is like looking at him, and he's, I guess, upset. He starts bringing up his own daughter and son. I'm just trying to get to the truth here. Why is he saying he only has 1 year left to make sure they know who their dad really is? I mean, how old are the kids? Are they almost 18? I need to look up his children. What is he saying? this is not necessarily the way to fight a serious lawsuit, because as you'll see when I finish reading all this, the Kardashians, they did not ask for a dollar amount. They are leaving it up to a jury. Now, if they get a sympathetic jury of their peers who literally go through all this evidence, if the jury decides that Ray J did defame Kim and Chris, sky's the limit. What if they award her $10 million? I mean, the Tasha K, Cardi B lawsuit, Cardi B was awarded $4.5 million. And Tasha K, the YouTuber, popular YouTuber, she had an interview and she said, I don't got it. I'm gonna tell you, I don't got it. It was funny. But it's not funny when the real repercussions come about. People have to sell their houses, or they have to do something to try and meet these payments of whatever is awarded to, their opponent. So that's about it. I'm going to link to this Twitter page who was able to capture that video. We'll get back to reading this page 3 here, but whoa, I suggest Ray J get a lawyer, because it's past the point of just talking and the woo-woo and the, man, and the crashing out. And part of it to me looked like a sympathy bid. I'm not saying he wasn't potentially hurt by any manipulations that went on around that movie, around that time, or with whatever he experienced. But page 3, this is what the lawsuit is saying. Ray J's public statements are blatantly false. No such federal investigation exists. So basically, he's trying to say Kim and Chris are worse than Diddy, worse than what Sean Diddy Combs is going through right now. Just wait. The federal RICO I'm about to drop on Chris and Kim is about to be crazy. The feds is coming. So they're responding and saying these are false allegations. So people have to get it in their mind, especially us who have any kind of platform. I mean, Ray J, of course, has a huge platform. Of course, the Kardashians have an even huger platform, but people might think they're just getting on there and let me just talk stuff and say whatever. And no, if you're literally not working with federal investigators and you claim you're working with federal investigators against Chris and Kim, that's a lie. It's not like, woo, 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 let me get some clicks and say something outrageous that'll make people pay attention. No, it can become defamatory. We'll see if a jury agrees. So no such federal investigation exists. No law enforcement agency has initiated any criminal proceedings or investigations related to racketeering charges against Miss Kardashian or Miss Jenner. And no credible evidence whatsoever supports these inflammatory allegations. Ray J's defamatory statements were not careless exaggerations, but calculated falsehoods. Part of a decades-long effort to trade on plaintiffs' reputations, undermine their businesses, and inflict emotional and reputational harm. So the part I wonder about is how are Kim and Chris going to prove, the harm they've suffered, any business losses. Ray J's conduct represents an egregious abuse of social media and public platforms to weaponize lies about non-existent criminal investigations while fully aware that such allegations, even when baseless, carry the power to damage plaintiffs' livelihoods and hard-earned reputations. Okay, so yeah, we'll see. He's playing into the whole, racial aspect. Look what they've done to black men. And he knows a segment of society will, glom onto that and say, yeah, those Kardashian women, they're horrible. And yeah, Ray J, they did you wrong. And yeah, they're trying to kill black men. And, it just gets to be too much. Is it really him holding a candle, holding a grudge, really trying to hold on to fame? I always wonder what his sister Brandy thinks of this. Anyway, this is not Ray J's first time making false and inflammatory statements with wanton disregard for the truth. That's what the lawsuit says. Over the years, Ray J has repeatedly fabricated sensationalized claims and resorted to vulgar remarks about prominent women, apparently in hopes of staying relevant in the media. Yeah, I mean, this is not the way to stay relevant. Who would want some dude you dated like 20 years ago still talking about you just because if you've grown famous, you dated him, for a few months? I don't even know how long. I don't know, you just wish them well. You don't keep hoping to get attention off of that one relationship. Okay, it says, for example, he recently admitted to fabricating claims about an intimate relationship with recording artist Janae Wary, better known as Sexy Red. I start thinking of her song, which I can't even sing here. I'm thinking of the lyrics, for me, then for Drake. Anyway, later conceding that he went out of control when making that false statement. These incidents exemplify Ray J's modus operandi. This is his method of operation, they say, manufacturing salacious and degrading stories about successful women in the entertainment industry, particularly Miss Kardashian, to generate the publicity he craves. They're like, this dude just wants clout. 20 years later, he's still trying to get clout off of Kim's name, which is a pretty sad thing if that's indeed what he's doing, you know? Just tell the truth. He could have just sat down and told what he experienced 20 years ago. Okay, all of that with Kim and Chris and everything. Okay, as long as it's true. But all this other stuff now about, oh, the Rico and they're worse than Diddy and this and that. It can be too much if it's not true. Ray J's acknowledged animosity toward the Kardashian family, coupled with his demonstrated willingness to lie for attention, leaves no room for doubt that his recent RICO statements were neither careless nor impulsive, so they're calling it calculated. They were the latest salvo in a deliberate and malicious campaign of harassment and defamation intended to defame plaintiffs while reviving his own fading notoriety. Oh, this is when earlier, did I say what he was? I don't know. We'll get to the point where they call him a former R&B star. Ray J's May 30th, 2025 and September 24th, 2025 public statements related to a non-existent RICO, there is no RICO, they're saying, non-existent RICO investigation into plaintiffs, together they call them the defamatory statements, have been widely disseminated through media outlets, causing substantial and ongoing harm to plaintiffs' personal and professional reputations. So they're linking to a Vibe.com article, Sexy Red slams Ray J for lying about having, it was just like, who lies on their stuff like that? I mean, just a Bryson Tiller lyric comes to mind. He can't keep his business behind his lips like me. Well, it's not even that allegedly he really got with Sexy Red. It's like which is even worse. Like, first of all, it would be bad if he did get with her and then he's blabbing to the world that he got with her. But what if he never even got with her and then lied that he got with her? Is Ray J just bemoaning the career he wanted, like he never maybe blew up to a Chris Brown or, you know, whatever level, a Drake or whatever he was expecting, since his songs weren't, you know, that huge, his whole career wasn't that huge, and so is this why he's done this? It says media reports have repeated Ray J's false allegations with headlines stating racketeering charges make more sense for the Kardashians than Diddy, and detailing that Ray J is railing against the racketeering conspiracy charge Diddy is facing. He says a RICO charge against the Kardashians would be more believable. As internationally recognized public figures and successful businesswomen, Miss Kardashian and Miss Jenner have built their reputations on integrity. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the Kardashians, but okay, integrity, business acumen, I'll give them that, and professional excellence. Ray J's obviously false allegations of a federal criminal investigation for racketeering, among the most serious categories of criminal conduct, strike directly at the heart of their character, integrity, and standing in the public eye, causing harm to their personal and professional reputations. Plaintiffs bring this action to hold Ray J accountable for his calculated campaign of lies and harassment, to put an end to his years-long pattern of exploiting their names for notoriety, and to seek redress for the substantial harm his malicious conduct has caused to their reputations, livelihoods, and emotional well-being. Okay, so this is the part where they describe the parties. Plaintiff Kimberly Kardashian is an individual who resides in Los Angeles, California. She's an internationally recognized media personality, businesswoman, and entrepreneur. Plaintiff Kris Jenner is an individual who resides in LA. She's well-known media personality, businesswoman, and entrepreneur. William Ray Norwood Jr., aka Ray J, is on information and belief, as far as we know, a resident of LA. And so they have all these links. See the TMZ, article. Ray J claims he's working on a RICO case. So in the actual PDF, if you get it down below, you can actually click the links. Some of them work. One of them is incorrect so far, I found. Hot new hip hop. Ray J warns of RICO case against Kim Kardashian and Kris Jenner. BET. Ray J's wild new claim. Kardashians face RICO charges. And then TMZ. Ray J defends Diddy, says RICO charge more fitting for Kardashians. And the extent of TMZ's circulation is bananas. So here we are, page 5, jurisdiction and venue. Okay, the court has personal jurisdiction over Ray J in this action. The defamatory acts took place in California where the plaintiffs reside and were located when the defamatory statements were made. Accordingly, the brunt of harm was felt by plaintiffs in California. By making the defamatory statements about plaintiffs, California citizens, Ray J directed his false statements regarding the California citizens to readers worldwide, including those in California. So they're just explaining why they filed in LA, basically. Upon information and belief, numerous third parties in California accessed Ray J's defamatory statements in California. Additionally, on information and belief, Ray J is himself a California citizen. Venue is proper in the county of LA because Ray J directed the defamatory statements to a wide audience that included persons who reside within LA. Ray J caused substantial harm to plaintiffs' personal and professional reputations in LA. Additionally, on information and belief, Ray J resides in Los Angeles. Statement of facts. Now this is where they start bragging about their businesses. Plaintiff Kimberly Kardashian, I'll just call her Kim K. She's a highly successful businesswoman, media personality, and advocate for criminal justice reform. Kim has built a business empire and most recently centered around her shapewear and loungewear brand Skims, which she co-founded in 2019. Skims has achieved remarkable success with a valuation of $4 billion as of 2023. So obviously they don't need Ray J's money. They're just trying to get him to stop. And then I got to give a shout out to Skims because I was like, oh yeah, I see why Kim has earned all this money with Skims. It is a great design. I bought my one and only so far Skims piece of lingerie. Skims body underwire thong bodysuit. I bought it in black. It was on sale and it still cost like $108 back then. When did I get it? Last year. I wear it so often it's worth it because it's a great design. It has like the underwire holds you up and squeezes you in, and it's like a thong bodysuit. I love bodysuits because you can just pull it on and don't worry about it. You have everything there in one piece. So I plan to wear it under this dress. I want to wear it to a wedding or two, and it gives you that great shape. So I see why Kim's Skims has gone bananas. Beyond her business achievements, Kim has pursued legal education and become a prominent advocate for criminal justice reform. In May 2025, Kim graduated from California's Law Office Study Program after 6 years of rigorous legal study. Kim's legal journey was inspired by her work with organizations like #Cut50, where she has successfully lobbied for criminal justice reform and helped secure clemency for numerous individuals. I do like the work she's done, bringing light to prison and inmates, and that one woman that she was serving so much time for a simple charge that involved, substances, like way too much time. So I think there's an appreciation there, and it shows you what Kim has done with her life since those, video days. She has gone on to act in a lot of things and again be awarded kind of like a new life where her dad, attorney Robert Kardashian, kind of piqued her interest in the legal realm. She's done all that. Okay, has Ray J been looking at all that all these years and like, oh, I need to get some of that or fame or whatever and money? Kim has leveraged her platform and resources to advocate for meaningful change in the criminal justice system. She's worked closely with legal professionals and policy experts, meeting with presidents and vice presidents to discuss reform initiatives, and has made criminal justice advocacy a core part of her public identity. Now we're on page 6. Kim's efforts highlight systematic inequities in the legal system, particularly those affecting people of color and the economically disadvantaged. And her financial resources have funded legal teams to fight cases that would otherwise be forgotten. So this is something Kim could come against Ray J claiming, oh, they're trying to kill, Kardashians trying to kill black men. And then Kim can come in with her, look, all this criminal justice reform reform and advocacy I've done, especially for affecting people of color. It's Kris Jenner's time to pop off about her skills. She's a visionary entrepreneur, a media executive, a business strategist who has built one of the most successful family business empires in entertainment history. I know people could go either way. Some people hate the Kardashians, some love them. You know, they go all the way back to Kim, they go all the way back to Kris and, you know, her mom and whatever her mom taught her about, you know, getting a husband and however Kris has treated her husbands and whatever she's done to rise to this point. Lawsuit says, as CEO of her production company, Jenner Communications, and manager of her children's careers, Kris has orchestrated the transformation of her family from reality television personalities into a multi-billion-dollar business conglomerate. Her strategic business acumen has been instrumental in launching and guiding successful ventures, including Kylie Cosmetics. I remember that. I remember Kylie, she didn't want to tell people she had lip filler, and she's like, oh, I use all that. And I think have I gotten a Kylie lip kit? I don't know if I ever got that, but I've gotten some of their cosmetics. Skims. Loving Skims. Give me a sponsorship, Kim. Good American, that's Chloe's jean and stuff company. I never really wear jeans. 818 Tequila, so that is Kendall's company, and numerous other brands that collectively represent over $5 billion in value. More than $5 billion in value. Kris has demonstrated exceptional leadership and foresight in navigating the rapidly evolving media landscape. She was the driving force behind Keeping Up with the Kardashians, which ran for 20 seasons and became a cultural phenomenon. And they're still on. They're on, just not on the E network anymore. And when they count the different seasons, sometimes it's like more than one per year. So part of me was like, wait, was it really on that many years? As an executive producer for most of her family's reality programs and creator of multiple spin-off series, yeah, I remember like, oh, what, Kim and Chloe Take Miami or whatever. It was like all the shows. Kris has proven her ability to create compelling content that resonates with global audiences while building sustainable business enterprises. As a published author, television personality, and business mentor, Kris has shared her expertise and inspired countless entrepreneurs. She has authored multiple books and has hosted her own television programs. Industry experts have praised her as the 21st century's preeminent female pop cultural brand builder and the matriarch of the Kardashian-Jenner brood. Recognizing her unique ability to monetize personal branding while maintaining authenticity and business integrity. Wait till they describe Defendant Ray J here. Defendant William Ray J. Defendant William Ray Norwood Jr., commonly known as Ray J, is a former R&B singer and songwriter who has had a decades-long pattern of making false and inflammatory statements to generate media attention and remain relevant in the public spotlight. So we're at page 7 now. We're getting there. His musical career peaked. They're totally just like dissing him. His musical career peaked with singles like One Wish, that was in 2005, and Sexy Can I in 2008. I'm trying to even remember how those songs went. Like, I was a Brandy fan. Of course, I love Sitting Up in My Room and all that, and The Boy's Mine, whatever. Ray J, I didn't really listen to his songs. He's not like, I mean, I'll go back, 90s, 80s, whenever. I go through my Spotify, especially when I'm working out, but I'm never like, oh, let me listen to a Ray J song, you know? But his celebrity status has largely been sustained through reality TV appearances, controversial public statements, and repeated attempts to insert himself into high-profile controversies. Ray J's connection to Kim dates back over 2 decades to a brief relationship they shared in the early 2000s. He's continuously exploited this past association to generate publicity and harass Miss Kardashian long after their relationship ended. Despite the passage of more than 20 years since their relationship, Ray J has persistently sought to inject himself into her life and maintain relevance by making defamatory statements about her and her family. Ray J has demonstrated a consistent and well-documented pattern of making false, sensationalized claims about high-profile individuals to generate media attention, which he subsequently retracts when confronted with the consequences of his lies. So this is when they talk about Sexy Red. For example, in June 2025, Ray J falsely claimed during a Twitch live stream that he had an intimate relationship with recording artist Janae Weary, known as Sexy Red, stating explicitly that, quote, he slept with Sexy Red. When Miss Weary publicly confronted him, called his claims weird, and accused him of lying, Ray J promptly retracted his statements and issued a public apology, admitting that he went out of control and describing his behavior as trolling at the highest level. That was childish, uncalled for, and insensitive. Indeed, even if I look up their ages, I don't even know how old Ray J is compared to how old Sexy Red is. Okay, Ray J is a 44-year-old man. I figured he had to be kind of, getting up there. Ray J's 44, Sexy Red's only 27. So that is kind of foul, just, I don't know, it is weird to me. It's weird for this 44-year-old man to say, oh, who's hot and happening these days? Oh, okay, she's popular. Let me claim that, I got with her. Because then does he need some eyeballs on his Twitch stream? Is this the way he thinks you can make money? Anyway, it's not trolling at the highest level. That's what I want people to get. If it's a lie, it's a lie. If he did not get with her, and he's, telling all these millions, thousands, whomever, people who saw it that he got with her, that's not trolling. That's a lie. People always try and say, oh, I was just joking. No. People can sue another person for defaming them, It says Ray J's defamatory statements about plaintiffs are part of a broader campaign of harassment designed to generate publicity for his flailing career and satisfy his acknowledged animosity toward the Kardashian family. Yeah, maybe he really does have, an axe to grind with them, but he hasn't healed from it, from whatever they put him through, however they broke up, or however he feels about that movie that he claims, Chris orchestrated. Maybe he didn't heal from what he's been through. Maybe he should have brought charges if he had any charges to bring years ago. He needs to consult a lawyer. His false allegations of federal criminal investigations represents an escalation of years of antagonistic behavior, including his 2013 release of a song titled I Hit It First. That's what I was talking about earlier. I remember when he came out with that song, and I don't even remember how it goes, but it's kind of just why are you making this song? I don't know, it just makes him kind of look like an F-boy, you know what I'm saying? It's just so anyway, I Hit It First was widely understood as a disparaging reference to Kim. His repeated social media attacks on the family and his attempts to insert himself into various controversies involving them. So now we are on page 7. Oh, technically page 8. The defamatory statements. Now, Ray J's false and defamatory campaign against plaintiffs began in earnest during a May 30th, 2025 interview with TMZ, where he made his first public statements suggesting that Kim and Chris were appropriate subjects for federal criminal racketeering charges. Now, you go on TMZ and you start talking about who has a RICO or who should have a RICO, you gotta make sure you know what you're saying. During the interview, which was conducted as part of TMZ's coverage of Sean Diddy Combs' then pending RICO charges, alleging heinous acts of, trafficking and violent abuse of women, Ray J deliberately drew a false parallel, stating, if you told me that the Kardashians were being charged for racketeering, I might believe it. So he was there to talk about Diddy. And I don't know if Ray J is still really good friends with Diddy, and he was just wanting to support his friend. And was he saying, oh, Diddy shouldn't have these charges? Isn't it ironic? He should be sentenced today. I don't know what his charge will be. I was guessing he'll probably do an 8-year bid. That's what I was thinking with Diddy.
No.
We'll see how right I am by the time we get the verdict, the sentencing. Was he saying, okay, Diddy's my friend, he doesn't deserve these charges. You know who deserves charges? Chris and Kim. He just kept on. It has been an ongoing thing, like that tape from years ago. Remember, even, what show was that on? Where someone did someone a solid and got the tape back. Was it Kanye? Someone was saying there's more copies, there's more footage, allegedly. Was it Ray J who brought the footage to Kanye when he was still with Kim or whatever? Something was going on. It just seems like all this mess all this fabricated, scripted stuff to keep like getting publicity off this tape, which I'm not saying the Kardashians haven't done themselves, but whatever. They're saying this statement was designed to plant the seed in the public mind that Kim and Kris were somehow comparable to an individual facing serious federal criminal charges, despite having no factual basis for such a comparison. To date, Ray J has not retracted his knowingly false and disparaging statement. Maybe he will before March. Let's see. His defamatory statement led to tabloid publications with headlines such as RICO charges totally bogus, Kardashians yes, Diddy no. So that was on TMZ's website. Ray J's defamatory statements escalated dramatically on or around September 24th, 2025. So that was just a week prior to this lawsuit being filed. So by September 24th, 2025, I guess the Kardashian Kris was like calling all her lawyers when he falsely claimed during a social media live stream to millions of viewers, that federal authorities had initiated a criminal investigation into plaintiffs. So was that on Twitch? I don't know. Ray J made the statements during a live stream with Christian Rock, I think that's how you say her name, a rapper and television personality who has over 7 million followers across social media platforms. During the live stream, Ray J made the following false and fabricated statements. The federal RICO I'm about to drop on Kris and Kim is about to be crazy. It's so weird. It makes it sound like he thinks he can charge Kim and Kris with a federal RICO. That's what that statement sounds like to me. Quote, the feds is coming. There's nothing I can do about it. Quote, it's worse than Diddy. It's worse than Diddy. So then they talk about TMZ, had an article, they link to it. Ray J claims he's working on a RICO case. Here's another quote Ray J made. I'm on the news every day. I'm going to say a lot of ish. And then another quote, anybody that is cool with Kim, they need to tell her now. The rain is coming. The feds is coming. So who knows? I think I'm trying to remember now. It was someone who was bringing the alleged extra footage or whatever to Kim, and Kanye had gotten it or something. I don't know. It's just weird. These statements were presented as factual assertions about ongoing federal criminal proceedings, not as speculation or opinion. That's a big differentiation. If Ray J would have got on there and said, you know what, those women are so bad, I bet you one day they'll catch some charges. They could even maybe catch a RICO one day because of their personalities, or you know how he phrases it. But these days, people phrase things so absolutely that they don't even realize, they don't even know what they're talking about. That's why some YouTubers in the comments, they're like, you got to say, in my opinion. You got to say, you know, like I said earlier, let me guesstimate. I bet you P. Diddy will get 8 years. He'll get an 8-year bid. Obviously, that was me speculating, but some people will get on here and lie and say, Diddy got this. And then when you try and ask them for proof, it's really just their feelings or something they made up. We're almost done here. The defamatory statements are categorically false and constitute textbook defamation per se under California law, as they falsely impute serious criminal conduct to plaintiffs and cause immediate and presumed reputational damage. So they're referencing this Weinberg versus Faisal case. Wrongful accusations of criminal conduct are among the most clear and egregious types of defamatory statements, and false accusations of crime are liable per se. Indeed, people can have a case. I remember some YouTuber, somebody was writing like, oh yeah, I know Paula. Yeah, I saw she got arrested in Florida. I was like, I've never been arrested in my life by the grace of God. So that is impugning my character trying to say, okay, I got arrested by the grace of God. I haven't been, but if I would have taken it to court, I could have sued that person. Anyway, Ray J's publication of these serious criminal accusations without any attempt at verification or corroboration from legitimate law enforcement sources who would have readily confirmed that no such investigation exists constitutes reckless disregard for the truth and the actual malice standard. So yeah, Ray J, he has to come up with some proof. He can't, it's one thing if he had heard from a literal FBI agent or, somehow something was coming, then that would be one thing. That's why I always like to go for court documents. Not, of course, accusations aren't truth either, but I like to try and get to any legitimate source I can instead of just like talking off the hip and making stuff up for content. His reliance on his own unsubstantiated assertions, despite having no factual basis or credible source for these inflammatory allegations, demonstrates a fundamental disregard for truth and a willful intent to harm plaintiffs' reputations. Upon information and belief, Ray J personally fabricated the defamatory statements, and because they originated entirely from his own imagination, he knew them to be false when he made them. So yeah, some people do that. They will come up with stuff in their mind. We got to go with evidence, like that Amanda Knox case, that prosecutor, which reminds me, I need to watch another episode. You know, they found the evidence of the victim, and then the one prosecutor was like, I know, it was probably some wild party that went on here. And then maybe that's how the girl lost her life. Like, you can't do that. You have to, like, literally go with evidence. So it says, see this when lamb versus cow type of lawsuit or type of case. They're doing the references. Malice may be inferred where a story is fabricated by the defendant. Additionally, Ray J's anger and hostility towards plaintiffs evidences his motive and intent to spread false and defamatory information about plaintiffs via the defamatory statements. See Reader's Digest Association versus Superior Court, California. I used to love Reader's Digest. Anger and hostility toward the plaintiff may, in an appropriate case, indicate that the defendant himself had serious doubts regarding the truth of his publication. Ooh, you just can't talk out the side of your neck. I think that's what people should get from this. Even if you're still hurt, even if you don't like the people, in the age of social media, we have a platform. Like back in the day, maybe it wouldn't hurt anything if you're sitting around and talking to 5 people. But if you're talking to 5 million people especially, and even if you're talking against a public figure, I mean, Ray J's a public figure also, it should be harder to defame public figures. And maybe that's why the Kardashians never brought suit against anyone for defamation. But maybe Ray J, did he get comfortable and keep defaming them, thinking they would never bring suit or fight back? Ray J's false statements were quickly disseminated through various media outlets, generating widespread coverage with headlines that repeated his defamatory claims as newsworthy developments. Media reports detailed Ray J's assertions with headlines like, Ray J claims he's working on a RICO case targeting Kim K, Kris Jenner, that's worse than Diddy, and reporting that Ray J shocked viewers when he took part in a live stream conversation with Chrisean Rock, during which he alleged that he's currently cooperating with the federal government in hopes of bringing Kardashian and Kenner to justice. The false statements achieved their intended effect of generating significant media attention and public speculation about plaintiffs' alleged involvements in federal criminal investigations. Yeah, so people who don't like Kim and Kris and the whole family, or even people who might like them, they might take Ray J at face value and say, wait a minute, he's claiming they're into, some deeper kinky stuff that we don't know about. It does make you give people a side eye, like, what are they really into? Who are they harming? Who do they have in the basement of a pizza shop? People just start like taking it to the nth degree. These statements are entirely false. No such federal investigation exists. No law enforcement agency has initiated any criminal proceedings or investigations related to racketeering charges against plaintiffs, and Ray J is not cooperating with any federal authorities regarding plaintiffs, as no such investigation or cooperation could exist. I want to see how old his children are, since he mentioned that weird thing about his kids. Ray J has a daughter. Oh, she's only 7. Wow. And his son is only 5. So why was he saying, like, I only have 1 more year left to show my kids who I am? I don't know what that's about. It's weird. This is not the way to come up, to hit a lick, to get big. To me, Ray J, if his talents, use those talents to create businesses and go get healed, instead of, if he's truly not working with anyone on a RICO, that's a lie. See, I hate this because it can impact children too. If they win a successful settlement or verdict, or however this goes, whether it settles or whether it goes all the way through, and then, the Kardashians can start collecting on their verdict, how is that going to impact his children? And it's bad. Impact of the defamatory statements. Due to Ray J's defamatory statements, plaintiffs have been at the center of a media storm speculating as to their alleged illegal behavior. As a direct consequence, plaintiffs have suffered reputational harm that will continue to affect their professional relationships. The financial impact of this harm will be proven at trial. So that's what I want to see, the receipts. Like, directly after Ray J started making these claims, especially in 2025, if they can show, okay, how much did all the Kardashians' product sales drop? Did someone lose a new opportunity for a new deal? Kim has got that show she's working on with Ryan, what's his name? With the women, the law firm and all that. I still want to catch up on that. Has that come out yet? Anyway, what is the damage? So can you imagine how this trial will be if it goes to trial? First cause of action, defamation. Plaintiffs repeat and reallege, as if fully set forth herein, the allegations of all the preceding paragraphs. Ray J published false and defamatory assertions of and concerning plaintiffs, including without limitation the false and defamatory statements identified in paragraphs 24 through 30. The defamatory statements falsely assert that plaintiffs are the subject of a Fed criminal racketeering investigation worse than Diddy, referring to, Sean Diddy's federal RICO case. Sean Combs has heinous allegations of trafficking and violent abuse of women. So they're quoting, even MSN said, Ray J claims he's working on RICO case targeting Kim Kardashian and Kris Jenner that's worse than Diddy. Okay, we are getting there. We just got 11, 12, and 13 and we'll be done. The allegations against plaintiffs are false. Plaintiffs are not the subject of a federal investigation. There's no investigation into plaintiffs for racketeering. And indeed, that's a fact that could be proven, when this goes all the way up there. They could contact the FBI or, they can verify to say, look, are you guys really working with Ray J on this? It just sounds crazy to me. That's like me. I don't know. I mean, of course, I'm not popular. I'm just trying to think of some regular person who's like, oh, I'm working with the feds, to take down my ex. And it sounds laughable. The defamatory statements constitute defamation per se because they falsely assert the plaintiffs have committed a serious crime. They, without reference to extrinsic evidence, tend to subject plaintiffs to hatred, contempt, ridicule, aversion, and disgrace. And they are injurious to them in their trade, business, or profession. Indeed, the defamatory statements constitute defamation per quod. I totally had to look that up because I was like, do they mean quid pro quo or something? But per quod is a Latin legal term meaning by which. On the basis of extrinsic circumstances. In defamation law, per quod claim arises when a statement is not obviously harmful but becomes defamatory when considered with additional external facts or circumstances. So that's interesting. I was like, okay, I'm learning all this stuff now. So let me get back to the suit. We're almost done here. Per quod. The defamatory statements constitute defamation per quod because they tended to injure plaintiffs in their occupation, expose them to hatred, contempt, ridicule, shame, discourage others from associating or dealing with the plaintiffs. Indeed, if Ray J is going to spout off and say, these women are harmful, they're trying to take down black men, and they're trying to do this, and they're trying to do that, and even all these RICO assertions, and the inference when you hear that, of course, when you first think of the word trafficking, is you start thinking of, younger people or vulnerable people just really being harmed. I don't know if that was his intent, if he thought, I'm just on here talking, like if he thought it wasn't going to get back to the Kardashians, as if people don't, screen record every freaking thing these days. Let's get done here. I got my battery going low. I just want to finish. The defamatory statements constitute slander per se pursuant to Civil Code Section 46 as Ray J's false oral statement charged plaintiffs with having committed a crime. The defamatory statements were not privileged, so I looked that up too. Okay, so that means a legal defense known as privilege does not apply to the statements in question, making them actionable as defamation. Privilege is a defense that provides immunity from defamation liability because the law prioritizes open communications in certain situations. This defense might be rejected in this case. It can happen if the statements were made with malice or if they were published in a context that is not covered by absolute or qualified privilege. Okay, So they're saying they weren't privileged, they were defamatory. He made these statements to millions of viewers on information and belief. Ray J made these statements with the knowledge that they were false, or at the very least with reckless disregard for their truth, for the following reasons. Ray J invented his claims entirely from his own imagination and thus knew them to be false when he made them. Ray J has no source for his claims and conducted no investigation. He alleged an ongoing criminal investigation into plaintiffs, but made no attempt to contact law enforcement or plaintiffs to confirm the statements were true. That's why I dig so hard, because, of course, I trust TMZ's reporting. I mean, they're thorough. But when they came out with the Kardashians and Kris are suing Ray J, I went immediately to the court docket to verify. I purchased over and over all these searches, finally purchased these freaking documents today for $24. I even called LA yesterday, like I told you, just to get proof. I don't even want to report. I trust TMZ again, but I want to see the documents myself, as do many of you. In this day and age, you just can't pop off at the mouth. You need proof, or you should have proof if you want to get out here in front of anybody and pass along stuff. Ray J has demonstrated hostility towards plaintiffs and incentive to make defamatory statements about them. He knows that his tenuous connection from decades ago is the only thing that keeps him relevant. Sick burn, right? His tenuous connection. That's like saying, look, you knew me 20 years ago. That's the only thing that keeps you relevant. He's utterly forgotten as a figure without Kardashians, so he needs to make more explosive comments to stay in public consciousness. That's why I made that my title. As a direct and proximate result of the defamatory statements, plaintiffs have suffered substantial economic damages, harm to their reputations, shame, mortification, hurt feelings. I want to see the economic damages. What are they talking about? Oh, Kris recently sold that big house that's featured on the, Hulu documentary. Why? Is that part of the, I don't know. I don't think Kim is probably suffering any financial harm. Not to say she wasn't defamed. I'm just saying from what I've, seen. Remember she was looking at that Malibu house and stuff. Anyway, plaintiffs are entitled to actual presumed and punitive damages in the amount to be determined specifically at trial. So they didn't even say, they said it's going to be more than $35,000, of course, but they didn't even say we want $1 million for this, $1 million for that. Sometimes you see in the lawsuits, the prayer for relief, you'll see, I want at least $65 million or whatever, like that woman who was suing Smokey Robinson. Or I wonder what happened with that lawsuit. There's so many I need to catch up with. Anyway, they're let it come out at trial. So I'm like, whoa, boy. If they get a really sympathetic jury of their peers and they don't like Ray J, and if he gets on the stand popping off with all this stuff people don't understand and without proof, even people who might not like the Kardashians might award them something in the millions. Second cause of action, false light publicity. Plaintiffs repeat and reallege, as set forth herein, the allegations of all the preceding paragraphs. Ray J publicly disclosed information that showed plaintiffs in a false light, without limitation, false, defamatory, paragraphs 24 through 30. A lot of this kind of repeating defamatory statements, subject claiming Kris and Kim were subject of the racketeering RICO, worse than Diddy, blah, 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 blah. False lights, claiming they were suspected of serious crimes. These statements were not privileged. Ray J again made the statements to millions of viewers. And again, he did this knowing it would create a false impression about Kim and Kris. He created them entirely of his own imagination, knew them to be false. He has no source for his claims. Now, this is when you break out the big guns. If there's any truth to what Ray J was saying, bam, it would be look, here's the guy who told me, or here's the paperwork, or here's whatever. Does it exist? That's the question. He alleged this ongoing criminal investigation, made no attempt, and he's demonstrated this, hostility, and he's utterly a forgotten figure without the Kardashians. He needs them to stay relevant, and they've suffered economic damages as a result. So prayer for relief, this is where I usually see a dollar amount, but there is none. Kim and Kris pray for judgment and relief against Ray J. They want an award of actual damages in an amount proven at trial, an award of punitive damages, reasonable cost and attorney's fees pursuant to the law, pre and post judgment interest as applicable, and any other relief the court deems just and appropriate. 5 prayers for relief. Request for jury trial. Plaintiffs hereby request a jury trial on all the issues triable thereby. Dated October 1st. Michael Lefrak is the attorney, but it was a different attorney that TMZ said. So I remember I had emailed some attorney, the one, Alex Spiro. I thought he did the filing. I don't know, I gotta look for his name. Let's just close with 1 Chronicles 16, 8 through 11. Give praise to the Lord, proclaim his name. Make known among the nations what he has done. Sing to him, sing praise to his name. Tell of all his wonderful acts. Glory in his holy name. Let the hearts of those who seek the Lord rejoice. Look to the Lord in his strength. Seek his face always. That's what I'm saying Ray J needs to do now. He needs to seek the Lord's face. All of us do, not just one person. We will see what happens with this lawsuit. Again, download the paperwork below. Oh my goodness, Ray J, this could be one of the worst decisions of his life. You know, the Kardashians are fighting back. I think what's smart about these lawsuits, it sets a precedent so people, the general public, can see you just can't go popping off at the mouth at people. But you can't blame the people who picked up on Ray J's assertions and published it. Like, I saw a blog post from Sandra Rose, and she had written, like, why is this lawyer sending me a cease and desist? Because she wrote about Ray J's claims. So we're just reporting, like, Ray J is claiming this about Kim and Chris. Don't shoot the messenger, okay? But obviously they've gone directly to the source. I don't know. I don't blame whomever. Like, imagine if you were Kim or Chris or whomever, and there's this guy from 20 years ago Kim had a brief relationship with. Imagine you are famous and he comes out and he starts saying all this stuff about you that you know isn't true. If you know there's no kind of racketeering or there's no trafficking or anything you've done, but all of a sudden someone is coming out just trying to besmirch your name, your character, you wouldn't want it to go on either. So I don't know. I just want the truth. That's all I want always, is what really happened here. And I do feel for Ray J in terms of if his career didn't go the way he wanted. And I don't know what happened with his relationship with Princess, his wife. I want to kind of look up that too, because I didn't quite follow that whole storyline, but I know there was a bunch of drama between them. Ray J and Princess Love. They're a celebrity couple known for their tumultuous on-again, off-again relationship. They were married in 2016. They share 2 children, but they have filed for divorce 4 times since 2020. She initiated the latest filing in February of 2024. So they've been seen in public still, and I don't even know if they're divorced. Maybe not. But this could harm the entire family is my issue. If the Kardashians get a great judgment and Ray J is held responsible and, you know, any of his property is taken or whatever, it's not worth it. I feel like if Ray J is only doing this stuff, if he's really spreading lies about the Kardashians, and if he's only doing it because maybe he felt hurt by Kim and Chris 20 years ago, I wish he would have gone to therapy, gone to the wonderful counselor. Oh my Lord. Go to him and talk to Jesus, talk to God through Jesus about whatever was irking him. And in that quiet time, God can help Ray J with his mind, his marriage, his disappointments. Maybe it's grief over not having the career he wanted. Whatever it is, don't spread lies about people. That would have maybe healed him and he could have gone a directly different path instead of, you know, trying to lie on people, their character, trying to stay relevant, that fame monster, that fame demon, that attention, whatever. It's gotten to this point, and now the Kardashians are like, look, it's gotten too far. You know, water off a duck's back. I'm sure a lot of stuff, I'm sure they're not perfect, but I'm saying a lot of stuff they've ignored and didn't bring to a defamation lawsuit. Maybe they could have. They knew they're public figures. It would have been harder to prove, but this, maybe they'll be able to prove it. Maybe they'll get a judgment, a settlement for some money that Ray J doesn't have. I hope he can get, maybe he can get a pro bono, high profile lawyer who's looking for attention, looking for, you know, eyeballs that could help him fight, because you know the Kardashians and Jenners have some crazy good lawyers. I mean, whew. Let me stop there. Thanks for watching all this. Check the paperwork below and we will follow up, of course, on this case and many, many others. Take care.